Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Pauline Verzosa. The House Squad Committee will investigate the alleged use of former President Rodrigo Duterte's intel funds during the controversial drug war. House Squad Committee co-chairperson Representative Dan Fernandez said they will look into the possibility of using the intel funds to reward police officers who killed alleged drug personalities. Fernandez noted that former President Duterte's office spent 4.5 billion pesos for confidential and intel funds. They are planning to invite the Commission on Audit to help them analyze the spending of Duterte's intel funds.
There are operations being implemented by the administration or former administration o kahit ngayong administration na kapag police operation o kaya military operation, gagamit ka ng intel fund. So, we need to find out saan talaga kinuha yung pera. And we're pretty sure doon yun sa intel fund.
Senator Bongo earlier proposed a parallel investigation of the Senate about the war on drugs. This is after retired police officer Reina Garma tagged him in the alleged reward system under the Duterte administration. Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel is also in favor of this proposal.
Para makapagtanong din kami ng sarili namin mga tanong. Ganito kasi ang sa mga congressional hearings, walang cross-examination eh. Pwede nga mga senador, we will ask the cross-examination questions para matest po natin yung credibility ng witness.
Congressman Dan Fernandez says they have invited former President Duterte along with Senators Bongo and Bato de la Rosa to attend a hearing. But Fernandez clarifies that their attendance remains at their discretion. Here's an excerpt from his interview on Storycon.
Umaasa ba kayong mag-attend sila?
Well, alam mo kasi may parliamentary courtesy talaga eh. At hindi natin maiiwasan yung tradisyon na sila ay pwedeng hindi umattend dahil nga po kumbaga upper and lower. But
yes,
of course, ako naman siguro kapag medyo nakikita ko that being adverse na sa akin yung mga accusations, ako I'll be attending if ever sa Senado. But of course that's their prerogative. At yun naman kay former president is an open-ended invitation dahil nga of course yung respect being the former president are being observed by the Quadcom. So basically it's really up to them if they're going to attend or not. After all, hindi naman po yung magiging malaking kawalan sa Kongreso if ever that they will not be able to protect their own interest.
Pero sir, kayo yun, sir.
Yun nga itatanong ko, Congressman, kasi meron din kaming istorya ngayon na meron na daw kayong sufficient evidence actually to put together the picture tungkol dun sa mga extrajudicial killings nga in the course of the drug war. So tatanong ko, gaano ba ka-importante yung testimony nilang tatlo? Kasi in the first place, I think both the two senators have said na wala silang balak kumarap sa inyo.
Well, actually, pag titignan mo yung mga evidences, yung mga mga nagko-collaborate na yung mga resource persons.
Yes.
If you remember, yung sa PDLs, yung dalawang PDLs na nagsabi sila na merong tigwa 1 million na bayad sa kanila. And even si Rohina Garma, at first, dinideny niya yun. But suddenly, she testified that 1 million talaga yung lumalabas para sa mga high value target. So marami na siyang mga corroborative instances that can be filed by the DOJ.
Meanwhile, the Office of the Vice President has rejected the Department of Social Welfare and Development's claims that they accommodated all its requests for assistance. OVP Director for Operations Norman Baloro called DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian's claims as inaccurate and misleading. He recalled the time when DSWD denied the OVP's request for assistance for a group of individuals whose livelihood were affected by the African swine fever. Baloro also shared that around 7,000 applications for DSWD's aid programs in Panay and Negros Islands are still pending up to now. Vice President Sara Duterte earlier accused the agency of politicizing the government's assistance programs. Let's now take a quick look at today's other headlines. In the Philippine Star, the Philippines, U.S., and other major allies kicked off their joint maneuvers in different parts of the country on Monday. In the West Philippine Sea, the Philippine and U.S. navies conducted anti-submarine and night patrol exercises as part of their sama-sama military drills. And in business world, cash remittances from overseas Filipino workers rose by an annual 3.2% in August. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas says cash remittances grew to $2.89 billion from $2.8 billion a year ago. At least 488 OFWs in Lebanon have been repatriated to the Philippines amid the ongoing conflict between Israeli forces and Hezbollah. The Department of Migrant Workers said they are currently working on the repatriation of more Filipinos in Lebanon. 250 Filipinos in the Middle Eastern country are still waiting for their clearance from Lebanese authorities before they can leave. DMW Secretary Hans Kakdak told Radyo 5 they are making provisions for shelters to those affected by the war.
And as soon as they're cleared from Lebanese immigration, we will book them on flight. Meron din tayong shelters. Pinag-utos ng ating Pangulo, bukod doon sa safe repatriation, ay yung magtalaga ng mga kaparaanan kung saan mabibigyan ng tulong at proteksyon yung mga kababayan natin.
Meanwhile, the United Arab Emirates government has pardoned 143 Filipinos serving their time in their country. The Foreign Affairs Department said the Filipinos were pardoned in line with the country's observation of Eid al-Adha. President Bongbong Marcos called UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed over the phone to thank him for pardoning the Filipinos. The DFA noted that these Filipinos were imprisoned for relatively minor offenses. Former Senator Ping Lacson shares the reasons behind his senatorial bid in 2025. Laxon also detailed how he became a part of the administration's lineup. And here's an excerpt from his interview on 1PH sa Totoo Lang.
Background lang, as early as June, I think, kung nare-recall ko, June last year, merong kumausap sa amin na common friend, kaibigan namin, kaibigan at taga-suporta rin ng Pangulo Marcos. Ang tatandaan ko, ang pakiusap, kami dalawa rin ni Tito Sen, ang pakiusap, kung kami raw mag-decide na tatakbo ulit, kung pwedeng tumikit na kami sa administration slate. Hindi naman sinabi yung dahilan kung bakit. Kaya nagtatingin na kami ni Tito Sen. Ako naman, ang unang tugon ko, sabi ko, ako hindi sigurado kasi nasabi ko na gusto ko na rin magpahinga at saka hanggang ngayon, very reluctant. Ang sabi naman, kung sakaling tatakbo lang, kung pwedeng doon na tumikit. So, yun. At tuloy-tuloy kami dalawa ni Senator Soto, laging nagko-communicate tungkol dito. Siya, desidido kasi siya eh. Sabi ko, ayan, si Tito, desidido, pero ako talagang alanganing-alanganin. But si Tito Sen, malaki rin yung naging influence na doon yung political party na pinamumunuan ni Tito Sen, yung NPC, Nationalist People's Coalition. Sabi niya, i-guest candidate kita, basta't naka-open yung isang slot sa'yo. Okay. Kung sakaling magbago ang isip mo. And ang pinakahuli, yung sinabi niyang kailangan mag-decide dahil nga magkakaroon ng announcement ng September 26. This was, I think, 1 week before September 26. Sabi ko, as of now, talagang hindi pa rin ako desidido. Sabi niya, basta't naka-open sa yung isang slot. And then, ito, hindi ko pa naibahagi ito. Noong 25 September, merong nagpadala sa akin ng isang newspaper clipping, isang dati kong staff sa Senate. At nakalagay doon, out of the 12 na kasama sa slate ng administration, 10 lamang yung sigurado at 2 hindi pa sigurado, hindi pa pinal. At pinangalanan kami dalawa ni Senator Amy. So ang ginawa ko, parang dahil nga may hesitation ako, so sinabi ko parang naisip ko na rin, baka ito na rin yung isang dahilan na hindi ako tutuloy. So pinadala ko yung kay Tito. Sabi ko, partner, eto, paano naman akong pupunta bukas? Kung halimbawang nandun ako, hindi naman tawagan yung pangalan ko. Malamang sa hindi, sa ilalim ng sila ako dadaan palabas ng PICC kasi nakakahiya. Sabi niya, sige, understood and noted. Sabi niya, tawagan ko na lang yung secretariat.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Pauline Berzosa. We are One News.